government on a continuous process, the economy will only further grow from here on. And let's now go across to our correspondent Siddhant Sibal, who's joining us for more on that. Siddhant, the minister there clearly talking about the GDP figures and, of course, the investment sentiment across the world that is still very much palpable among investors. And, of course, with the programs, the initiatives going forward from here on, how India continues to be the fastest growing major economy in the world.
Well, Nancy, the basic crux of Finance Minister's reaction was that India's economy will continue to grow. He not only reacted on the Q3 numbers, the period in which demonetization was announced. He said in Q4 the growth rate is expected to pick up more, primarily because the remonetization process has been completed. Yesterday, we know the DEA, Shaktikant Das, said that remonetization is almost complete. It's near way complete. So that is one factor. The other factor is that the finance minister said the global economy is on an upward swing. That is another reason. So that is the reason that the Q4 numbers are expected to be robust. And the CSO, when it came out with the figures yesterday, the advanced numbers, it pegged India's growth at 7.1%. These are the same figures which came out in the first advanced figures, that was 7.1%. So India, by and large, becomes the largest major growing economy, and it has surpassed the Chinese growth also. Remember, the Chinese Q3 number were at 6.8%. India at 7% remains the largest growing economy, and that is, of course, the positive news. When we see across the globe, it's a grim situation. Globally, the economies are not doing very well, whether it's the European economy or other Asian economy. So a positive news coming, and of course the finance minister positive about the GDP numbers. And remember, the Prime Minister has also said that GDP numbers show a resilience of the Indian economy, and he paid respects to the honest citizens of the country, that they are primarily responsible. And he said that the naysayers said many things about the entire process, the demonetization process, but despite the naysayers and the critics, Indian economy continued to grow, and it came out with a robust number of 7%.
Absolutely, Siddhant. Well, that was about the minister there talking about the GDP figures. And also, Siddhant, with these remarks once again coming from the government, the finance minister, they speak about the GDP figures. It clearly defies any fear that may have been there, the concerns as far as sluggish growth or the impact on the economic growth after especially the demonetization decision.
Well, this was the first, we can say this was the first report card about the demonetization process, which many were saying that will bring a slowdown in the economy, but Indian economy continued to grow at 7%. And Finance Minister just returned from his UK visit. Yes. He had went to UK, London. He met with the British investors there, and during his reaction, he also talked about his visit, and he said that most of the investors were very happy about the Indian economy. They want to invest. They said that India is a bright spot in the global economic situation, and he said that the British investors are very keen to invest in Indian economy, and that continues to remain. He met the private sector there, and he met the government there, and both the government and the private sector were happy to invest in India. And Britain itself, coming out of Brexit, is more than eager to invest in India because it's looking for partners across the world, and India with a 7% growth becomes a natural and the best partner for the British economy when it looks towards Asia, and becomes the largest growing economy not only in the world and Asia, because it has surpassed the Chinese growth at 6.8% for the third quarter of the year 2016-17.
All right, Siddhant Sibal, thank you very much for joining us for the moment and putting all those developments into perspective for us. Thanks very much. And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of the news as well. But News and Updates will continue here on Doordarshan News. Thanks for being with us.